time. It's a milestone day here on the Eternal Baseball Podcast, as this is our 50th episode.
Oh,
So,
wow. Man,
time goes fast, right?
should have bought a sheet cake or something.
Right?
Sorry, I didn't know.
Absolutely. So, the big 5-0 for the Eternal Baseball Podcast. If you're new, welcome to the show. If you've been with us, thanks for coming back. As always, I'm Mark Weber with my oldest friend and compatriot and cohort in Eternal Baseball. That's Brent Rotundi. And we got a game for you tonight. I wish we had two teams head-to-head in big competition. That's actually next week. But tonight it's Cubs at Reds. And the Reds have come back from the dead. I think they lost like 12 of 13 at the beginning of the month. But the Pirates were struggling too, and so they didn't go away. And so now the Reds are a game out with, I think we've got 13 games to play.
Love it, man. We got some good races going here.
We really do, and we didn't have that in season one, and that was my lone complaint about season one was, man, without wild cards, you really got to have divisional races. So, but we have two are just about done, and two are actually sealed. But we've got four that look like they're going to come down to the wire, and that's not bad. And it's not all the same teams, which is a big reason why we chose the software that we use, is to have some year-to-year variance. Otherwise, it's boring, right? You can only watch Hulk Hogan drop that leg so many times. So we like things a little shook up here on the Eternal Baseball Podcast. So let me share my screen here, and we'll take a look at the week that was. There we go. So it's getting very colorful here. If you look at the whole year, my favorite bit is how much it's bleeding down at the bottom of the chart.
I know.
Because Tampa, Texas, Toronto, and Washington all had rotten years. So,
it draws your eye.
Right? It's a lot of pink down there. As always, pink stands for a bad week, and yellow stands for a really good week. And then no color means just kind of somewhere in the middle. And now we get the color coding on the teams themselves. So the bright yellow guys are clinched division winners. The Birmingham Knights have clinched the AL South. The Yankees have clinched the AL East. Your bolded names are your current division leaders: Atlanta, Detroit, Minnesota, Montreal, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco. Your names in red have been mathematically eliminated. And we added a couple this week, including it ain't fair, but turn the lights off in Fenway, because the Yankees clinched the East. Actually, this was last week, but Red Sox are 87-62, right? They're going to win 95 games, but with no wild card, it's a little bit cutthroat. So we'll hope for better luck.
They're 22 games out first.
Yes, because the Yankees are out of control this year.
My goodness.
And Boston they had a really good season from Pedro, but Cy Young was a little bit mortal after winning the Cy Young Award last year, reasonably. I guess you could have made a little tiny bit of money in Vegas on that. And then Clemens was not up to his usual standards this year. And that's what made Boston super dangerous last year, in a year that Ted Williams had a down year. So this year, Ted Williams is great, but only Pedro was great of their pitching chimera. So anyway, they'll be back. We'll see them. Colorado's out. I think that's new. The Marlins and the Padres, we all lost to the mathematical calculator this week. So, but for the week that was, if I shrink this down a little bit.
Man, the Rangers and Nationals have not had a winning week the entire season.
So bad.
Wow.
Yeah, some 3-3s. No. There's some. They're just not great weeks, right? Like the Rangers were 4-2 in week 11.
Oh, okay. You didn't.
They got to be.
I blame you for not highlighting that one.
Yeah, no. It's got to be the best week, like 5-1 or 6-0. Get you.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right, but you can have winning weeks. You know, a 4-2 is a good week. A 2-4 is not a good week, but it's not a season sinker, right? But a couple of 0-6s will get to you. So anyway, taking a look at the week that was week 25. Let me hide these other ones. So. Birmingham, real good. Boston, a little too late. Chicago has turned it on, but they're well back. I don't think they've got enough time to get hot. Houston is trying really hard to catch the Atlanta Braves. The Dodgers have turned it on, but I think it's too late. The Giants are 8 games up, I think, out west. The Yankees continue to roll. Although the Yankees, it was funny, I looked at their game today, and like 7 of their regulars are just now hitting the time when they would be above their season expectation for at-bats. So they've played pretty much the same lineup or a shy variation of it every game. And now it's like, hey, these guys are about to go over, and it's DiMaggio and Mantle and Ruth, and so it was funny. They played like a backup lineup today almost. But it was still, I think, Posada caught Mattingly at first.
Like
Bernie
Williams in center.
Yeah, it was Jeter at short, A-Rod at third, Yogi Berra in left. He can play left. And then, Bernie actually got called up to play center because DiMaggio and Mantle were both over their expected at-bats for the season. And then Roger Maris in right. So the Yankees ran out their B squad and flattened the Blue Jays 5-3. But anyway, New York's really good. And it's, I'm on record being a Yankee fan. But they don't have Shiver Your Timbers ace. And that's probably what'll get them at some point, because most of these playoff teams have at least one. And the Yankees,
if they're scoring 8 runs a game.
Well, that's part of it. But Lefty Gomez and Jack, I think it's Chesbro, look that up, are not, they're not intimidating in the way that Christy Mathewson is, or Dwight Gooden is this year. Gooden just took over the overall ERA lead. And if the Mets weren't 70 and 79, he'd probably be your runaway Cy Young winner. But anyway, see who else? Cardinals are coming back after kind of just a bad year all over. I'd like to see them at 500 because it just seems weird to have the all-time Cardinals team be sub 500. But it can happen. And then your rough squads are kind of the usual suspects: Texas, Toronto, Washington. Padres are done. Milwaukee. It's funny, a couple of the teams that we thought were going to really be spurred on by new players. Milwaukee got 3 new starters. Tampa got 3 new starting pitchers. And it was true early on, but it did not last. So we had high hopes for the Brewers and the Rays, and they're going to end up a combined 50 games under 500. So, oops.
Although this the Brewers will, once we get another year's worth of stats, that should pump them up for next year.
And some of those teams that are, I hate to call the Brewers expansion because it doesn't feel like it, but through the lens of eternal baseball, they're a young franchise, right? So Peralta and Woodruff and Burns and Hader can add another fantastic year on, and it'll matter in eternal baseball.
Yeah,
whereas
so.
A guy can have a phenomenal rookie year. Say Torkelson, Sun Devil, goes nuts for the real Tigers in Major League Baseball this year. He's not going to crack Detroit's all-time lineup. Hard to do with 100 years of history. So those younger franchises can be more affected by the play of their actual youth. The one thing I looked up this week, I am expecting some free agency at some point, or at least some not free agency, but sooner or later players are going to change teams once they're on their new team more than they were with their previous team. And the guys I always look at as kind of our benchmark is Aroldis Chapman, because it's kind of hard to remember him as a Red now. And he'll be more Yankee than Red at the end of next season, if he's still in New York, given what we've seen the last 5 games. And Manny Machado will become more Padre than Oriole shortly.
That's
but
interesting.
It's still like 2 seasons away from Machado. So we really don't have a whole lot of player movement in eternal baseball because, these are legends. And it takes a current player good enough to be on an eternal baseball roster who has also changed teams and been with the new team for 4, 5, 6 years. So that's actually a kind of tough resume to fill, but we'll get there eventually. Here's what we're looking at as far as the divisions go. So Montreal just pulled 1 game up on Philadelphia, but they have been swapping or sharing that top spot for about 3 weeks now. Atlanta's only 1 game up on Houston. Pittsburgh only 1 game up on Cincinnati. San Francisco is 8 games up on LA. And with 13 left, that's going to kind of right itself, I think. The Yankees have clinched the East. Birmingham has clinched the South. Detroit is 6 games up on Cleveland, so that's about done. Although Detroit is at 93 wins and Birmingham is at 97 wins. So there's an outside chance that Detroit could flop with Birmingham for that number 2 seed out in the East. They're going to play each other almost undoubtedly, but it would shift home field in a 5-game set. So there is that. And then our most competitive division, well, it was. The Angels are only a game back of Minnesota, and Oakland won't die, but never makes any ground. Makes up
amazing.
9 games back and 13 games under, but they're not eliminated yet. Seattle isn't even eliminated yet. So I guess hats off to the perennially mediocre AL West. But I don't want it's not message board material because Minnesota has Walter Johnson, one of the 5 best pitchers in the whole game. And in a best-of-5 series, you'll see him twice, maybe even 3 times.
Yeah, throw Frank Viola out 1 game. Boom, right? That's your series. Later, Yanks.
Johan Santana, you never know. And Eddie Guardado pitching every day because that's what Eddie Guardado does. But yeah, if you're the 109-win Yanks, don't sleep on the 77-win Twins because they might get you. We'll see. And then looking over at, we got some league leaders to look at over here. And George Sisler, he has a bunch of bunt hits. I'm not sure how I feel about that. If the guy's going to win the batting title with 164 hits, but 35 of them are bunt singles.
Hey, man, it all counts.
I guess it's baseball.
So this is a little more in line with what I imagined the batting leaders being.
Yeah.
Compared to last year where there was a couple outliers.
Yeah, LeMahieu hit 380.
Lamahua.
But it is kind of funny because my just general thinking, and a lot of it is DH based, is always that the AL is the hitters league and the NL is the pitchers league, right? But that's what it looks like here. If you look at the league leaders here,
yeah, you
got to get to 10th to find a national leader. He's hitting 312. So Rogers Hornsby might win the National League batting title at 312. I remember one year Terry Pendleton won it for the Braves at 308. And I was like, come on, dude, 308? But they're facing the better pitching because look down here at the pitching. There's Walter Johnson. But other than that, Satchel Paige, 8 of the top 10 ERA leaders are national leaders. So
yeah. I love seeing those names, though. That's always one of my favorite parts of this.
I love the mix. The mix is great. So anyway, we're on to baseball. Here's our Monday schedule. And towards the end of the week, I suppose I could tease it. But we're playing the Monday schedule. But come Tuesday, the 24th, I think we got a couple of really killer 3-game sets. So Cleveland's almost out. They're playing Seattle, who should be out. Atlanta's in it, but that one doesn't matter. Where is it? Philadelphia and Houston, both 1 game back in the East and the South. So that I don't know if it'll be a knockout series, but if somebody sweeps, it could be. Montreal is in the hunt. Oakland's almost dead. Detroit will try to knock them out. I guess maybe it's just that one. Oh, Pittsburgh and San Francisco. So San Fran is all but wrapped up the West, but Pittsburgh's only a game up in the North. So that should be a really, really good series. So we got 2 really good series starting on Tuesday. But that's getting ahead of ourselves because tonight it's the first game off the Monday schedule, and it's Cubs and Reds. Let's fire it up. Make sure I have sound on this side. All right, so I have them both as human to make sure we're using the pitchers that are supposed to be pitching, because once in a while it'll get slappy with it. So it's supposed to be Ed Reulbach, and
are we the Big Red Machine?
We are the Big Red Machine. So we're
right.
Eppa Rixey, and then
gonna get every single nasty boy in there. Boom.
Right. Except we don't have is Randy Myers a red? I don't think so.
Oh no! I think
he's a Met. So, which means he'll be golfing in 2 weeks, but fine. All right, so with Eppa Rixey and we're facing a right-hander, so
you don't want to do the Dibble starter.
I pitched. I did a Cincinnati game the other night. And I pitched Dibble. Felt great. I remember in Baseball Stars, he threw like 115 miles an hour, and he hit Delino DeShields once and blew him up. Like he literally exploded on the screen. It was pretty great game. All right, so here we are. OPS versus righties. Our top guys are Pete Rose, Frank Robinson, Eugenio Suarez.
We'll have to figure out a way to stream you and I playing against each other and that sometime.
Yeah. Now the one big question we have today is Joe Morgan usage means he's over, or at this rate he'll go over his expected amount of at-bats for a year. And when that happens, or when the usage comes up, if he doesn't get some rest, his overall stats start dropping. So it might not be the Joe Morgan. It might be 90% Joe Morgan. It won't be 50% Joe Morgan. But against righties, Brandon Phillips actually has a better OPS. And he's the other likely second baseman. So.
Yeah, that's fine. We could do Phillips.
So who do we want to leading off here? It looks like for on base, our top guys, well, Robinson and Rose are our two best hitters, but Suarez and Votto at 352 and 348 are our best on base guys.
And let's see, Larkin's having kind of a down year.
Yeah, Larkin will play definitely because they really don't have another shortstop, but he'll be down towards the bottom of the lineup most likely.
Okay. Let's see there. I guess the only one with speed is Phillips, maybe?
Let's see, for batting, steals on the year, Joe Morgan's stolen 83.
Oh, wow, man.
But Larkin has 30. Nobody up top has many steals, at least.
So I guess we put Morgan up top. What do you think?
Unless we play Morgan, if we think this is, the game to win.
Let's do it. They're in the hunt, right? So
yeah. All right, so if Morgan goes leading off, then to split up your lefties and righties, you probably want Rose hitting third as a switch. Frank Robinson's cleanup, I think. And then it's either Eugenio Suarez or Brandon Phillips next. Totally.
Phillips being what the
Brandon Phillips is our second baseman.
Rose and Morgan are.
Oh, that's right. Morgan's out, so that makes Suarez our two hitter by default almost. I forgot about Joe coming in. I don't think we play Ernie Lombardi, even though his offensive numbers are a little better. I'm not going to bench Johnny Bench.
Who was it? I was reading something. Maybe it was on Twitter, but it was talking about the Reulbach triple from the other night. And they said they complimented. He actually got around fairly quickly, but they were talking about who was the slowest player in history. And early Ernie Lombardi's name came up as the slowest player in MLB history.
He's not a looker either. I think he has a quote that said, "If I could hit with my nose, I would."
Yeah, no, it sounds like he had really short legs, so he couldn't really get moving. And then, as his career progressed, he gained a ton of weight. So it's just, I don't know.
So we're not benching Johnny for Ernie, but that probably puts Votto fifth. That gives us a lefty after the righty, and then bench sixth.
It's a good looking lineup.
I like the defense of a 10 at first and a 10 behind the plate. There aren't a lot of 10s defensively. So.
Yeah, I like it.
And then if Rose is in left, that means Dunn is going to have to come off the bench. Ed Roush is in center field because Eric Davis is rotten against right-handers for some reason. And then Barry Larkin at short.
Then it's Cal Daniels at short.
Right? trying to think what other failed Reds prospects are. Eric Anthony. Surely.
Wasn't he Astros?
He was an Astro, but he was a Red later.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just remember every time I'd come home from school, turn on TBS because we didn't have a TV guide or anything.
Right.
And just please be the Reds. Please let them be playing the Reds.
Yeah.
it hardly ever worked out. But
You
when it
wanted
did,
Reds,
man,
you
it was
wanted Reds, Mets, Dodgers, maybe Giants, maybe. No.
maybe, yeah. But just to see
Yeah.
Eric Davis, yeah. I mean that
Yeah.
one, yeah, that team was outstanding.
Yeah. I remember back then it was when Eric Davis got red hot, right? People were picking up his cards like crazy.
Mm.
And I remember in my Eric Davis part of my binder, I had an 86 tops Tony Perez. Now, Tony Perez, fantastic ball player, right? But his current cards weren't worth jack. But he was coming home and getting a high 10 from Eric Davis.
Yeah, nice.
So I put it in the Eric Davis section. It counts. Totally counts. All right, I think we're ready for baseball.
Welcome to Great American Ballpark for
That's a
tonight's
good
game
picture I
between
got
Chicago
there.
and Cincinnati. Chicago has
Yeah.
lost 2 straight. Ed Reulbach takes the mound for Chicago. He's made 29 starts on the year and is 14-12, with an earned run average of 3.26. His third start against Cincinnati. He's 1-1 with a 2.57 earned run average against Cincinnati. He'll be opposed by Eppa Rixey for Cincinnati. He's made 28 starts on the year and is 12-12, with an earned run average of 4.06. His fifth start against Chicago, he's 3-1 with a 4.13 earned run average against Chicago. It's 69 degrees, wind speed 5 miles per hour, out to right center field. Pitching for Cincinnati, Eppa Rixey. Leading off for Chicago, left fielder, Riggs Stevenson.
So it looks like Riggs Stevenson, Ryan Sandberg, Hack Wilson. Love the name.
Love, yeah. That picture, Hack Wilson.
Yeah.
Just straight from the bar.
Chris Bryant at third, Sammy Sosa in right, Wilson Contreras catching, Ernie Banks at first base, Javi Baez at short, Big Ed Reulbach on the mound. As it's time for baseball, so let me give control back to the Cubs. And we're off. Get it, Ed?
Okay. Second baseman, Ryan Sandberg.
I don't mean to prejudge Ed Roush, but he doesn't look fast. But
Center fielder, Hack Wilson.
Look at Hack, dude.
yeah, dude. He looks mad already. And that's what he does. I dare say Hack isn't his Christian
Chris.
name. But that's still the head shaker of all deals. Not just this year, but maybe in the last 3 or 4. Chris Bryant to the Rockies. Forever.
Pitching
right?
for Chicago,
Like,
Ed Reulbach.
Yeah, I can't even remember who they got for him.
Second baseman,
no, they just signed him
Morgan.
Right,
this
right.
offseason. Like,
Yeah, what am I?
deal. Where's he going
what
to
am I
go?
talking
He can play left. He can play third. He's a good stick. He got some power. Like, unless I have always wanted somebody like Nelson Cruz to sign a 1-year deal in Colorado.
Dude,
Just-
Giancarlo. Can we get Giancarlo Stanton in Colorado, please?
No, nobody's trading Giancarlo Stanton. He's way too good. And for the inside baseball, Roto just swung a Cody Bellinger for Giancarlo Stanton deal in our fantasy league.
I still maintain that's not as lopsided as people are making it out to be.
Several owners sent emails about going, what?
Dude, I swear I didn't even think twice about it. It's like, this is a struggling outfielder for another struggling outfielder.
Yeah. But
and
Stanton,
one of them's 5 years younger. I don't know.
But Stanton has done this for 3 years, right? Whereas the Bellinger Express is picking up speed. But
Maybe he'll figure it out. He's been tweaking his swing now for like 18 months. So.
right? I'm madder at the other owner. I got to send him some trade proposals.
Dude, he's in first place. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I haven't won in like 3 years, so I got to change something up. But it's not going to be trading with you. So anyway, Joe Morgan's a good bunter, but we'll probably keep that in our pocket.
Rob is in the house. You've only missed half an inning.
There we go. Good thing we were talking fantasy. We don't like that fantasy baseball stuff. Let's get back to the real deal here. Boo Joe Morgan.
Third baseman, number 7, Eugenio Suarez.
I love the bubble. I guess he was well known for blowing bubbles in Cincinnati, and
great
maybe
bubble.
maybe in Seattle now. I don't know.
There we go.
There you go. Didn't even pop the bubble.
Left fielder. Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
Great photo.
Yeah, I like the young Pete. Right?
Did he make it? Did he get there?
If he legged it out.
Right
but-
fielder. Frank.
Ooh,
Robinson.
60%. Do we get him in the scoring position, or do you
No,
think?
no, you let Frank hit. Come on.
All right, man. Jeez.
I love that they traded Frank and they said he's only 31. And it's like, yeah, but it's an old 31. And like, that's probably the best revenge story in baseball, right? He won the Triple Crown and led his new team over his old team in the World Series.
Well, the best part too is his salary was probably like 38,000 or something, right? Like,
he was still working as a butcher in the offseason.
you're right. It wasn't like a $60 million deal or
Yeah.
something nowadays.
Yeah. Come on, Frank. Oh, Ernie drops it. It's like an error on
First
Ernie Banks.
baseman. Number 19.
Here comes Joey Votto.
Votto.
I love reading the trade rumors about Joey Votto every year because he has a 100% airtight
Right fielder,
no trade clause.
Sammy. So
And
Yeah.
he said, "I'm never leaving Cincinnati." And every like MLB chat I'm in, what do you think about Votto going back to Canada? He's Canadian. And the guys are like, it's not going to happen. Here's Sammy Sosa, who still qualifies in center
number 40,
field somehow.
Wilson Contreras.
Nice.
From his White Sox days, I guess.
Oh, both the Rosarios have checked in.
Oh, now we're talking.
I want to be in Rob's league, man. That sounds amazing.
You know what's
First
scary?
baseman,
We had
Ernie.
on our
Banks.
What's on Joe Mind podcast on Friday night, we had a special guest. And he was actually not just in the house, he was in the house. It was a third Irizarry brother. I'm like, whoa, a little outnumbered here.
How many are there?
There's 3 guys and 1 sister.
Oh, well.
So we haven't had the sister on yet, though, but stay tuned. All right, Ernie Banks looking to atone for that brutal error in the first inning. Look at him go. And the wind's blowing out today. This could be a
Shortstop.
pinball game.
Number 9. Javier Baez.
And this is to be clear, this is Baez the Cub who could hit, not Baez the Tiger who apparently can't.
How bad is he doing with Detroit? I haven't seen his
It's not
stelling.
good. I think it's low
Yeah.
200s. Not
Oh
good.
man.
Like none of
does
the
line.
other than Trevor Story seems to have woken up this weekend, right? But none of the big free agent shortstops are comfy yet in their new spots. So it's good news for Trey Turner. Do we throw home? We have a 1% chance to get Sosa at home.
Jeez, dude.
No chance for a double play, but we can probably get Baez at first.
Yeah, you got to take the out, I guess.
Can't throw home at 1%, right? Oh, wait, we're going for 2. We got Banks at second. All right.
Pitcher. Ed Reulbach.
Big Ed Reulbach. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's pronounced. And
Catcher. Johnny Bench.
all right, Johnny. Johnny Bench owns an eternal baseball record. When I put the photo up for every Facebook group we're invited to, I put up the photo of the starting 9, and people react and go, how is Michael Conforto there? What about Cleon Jones? Or where is Frank White? Can't have second base without Frank White in Kansas City. And I put up the Reds one in the Johnny Bench Appreciation Club page. It got like 594 likes.
Wow.
It was so far and away the runaway winner.
We
Like,
just need to monetize that every week.
that's it. 50
There.
cents to like this photo. So I mean, I couldn't bench it.
Center
We
field.
yeah, I mean that Ernie Lombardi contingent didn't raise its
Right.
head.
A lot of Ernie Lombardi fans out there. You know, they
Shortstop.
named the NFL
Barry
trophy after
Larkin.
him. You're a big Barry Larkin guy.
I was.
Where is he in
Yeah.
your pantheon? Top 5?
Say again?
Where is he in your
Left fielder.
pantheon? Favorite
Briggs.
players?
Stevenson.
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe top 10.
Because I remember Kirby
I got some weird one. Van Slyke's in there.
That's okay. I loved Leyritz until he retired and
yeah,
had some questionable behavior.
Scott Kingery because he signed some autographs.
There you go. I mean, that's all it takes is a guy being nice to you or a favorite being a jerk, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I liked. Actually, that's the reason I never went and held the mic in front of Ricky Anderson, even though I had the chance in sports radio a couple of times. I'm like, I've heard he's not wild on the media, and if I don't interact with him, then he never treated me bad. But if I hold the mic and he's like, "Not today, Copper Top," like, oh,
Copper Top.
Like, come on. Here's Riggs Stevenson.
we should probably just pull up Mike.
Sandberg.
Like literally send him the link. I can bow out gracefully. I'll slowly slide off the screen.
All right. So Riggs Stevenson gets on first. Here's Sandberg. The second baseman, Joe Morgan, didn't tear apart on Sunday Night Baseball.
Center fielder, Hack, Wilson. Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Bryant, back when he played Major League Baseball.
Pitcher, Eppa Rixey.
I don't know that it's Eppa. I always said Eppa, but what do I know?
Eppa.
Potato, right? But probably going to be hard to fix. Oh, look at Eppa go.
Wow. Base
Go,
knock. Whoa, look, what?
On the wheels.
Joe.
What's his percentage? Let's send him.
I can't even see it because it's probably single digits. You can bunt him over with Morgan. He might be. Oh, it says his bunt is 0 right now.
Really?
He's
just too winded from usage.
I think it adapts to the situation, so they must be expecting it, even though the corners aren't in.
He's just dry. He's just dry even at the plate right now. Just totally spent.
He's like, look, the pitcher hit a double. I'm not bunting.
Get through.
Grounds to pitcher.
Third base.
Rob, let's see. Oh yeah, we were talking about Roldis before you rolled in.
Yeah.
Having a tough go.
They have a theory about eternal baseball and the governing dynamics of the actual program, that it's actually just copied over from NBA Jam.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah, so, it feels that way, doesn't it?
We have had relievers bite Mike and I very regularly, more than you and me, actually. So yeah, but man, it's
the old NBA Live 98, right? Yeah. Where you'd be up 20 and then it would just evaporate.
No lead is safe. There you go, Suarez. Come on, Rixey.
Send him.
Couldn't even score on a single to center. Well, 1 out, Pete Rose. That's a wild pitch. Here he comes.
Man, I appreciate Rixey's base running this inning.
Right? We got to remember that if we play at Cincinnati again. We might want to pinch run him once in a while on an off day or something. Here's Pete Rose. Hitting a dribbler.
Oh.
I think you got him at first.
Right fielder.
The safe at third.
Robinson.
So 2 down, runner on third, Frankie Robinson. Delivering that single, RBI single to center. The Reds are in business.
Joey Votto.
It's Joey Votto, who does not want to be traded, steps to the plate. My favorite part of the day is a complete sidebar in the opener of the Yankee doubleheader. Aaron Hicks, who's 3 for his last 40, hit this duck snort flare single to left. And they're like, well, maybe that'll wake him up. And I'm like, yeah, he'll use a longer bat so there's more end of it to hit with, but whatever. And then later in I think it was the 7th, down 1-0, I think he walked. And then infield single, he's on second. So he's a tying run in a 1-0 game, gets picked off second base. And they were shifting, right? So there was a guy a lot closer to second. It wasn't like the guy had to break for second. He was just kind of there. And he got picked off, and it was like, the look on his face was just like resignation. Like, this is just what happens to me. And then when they got a shot of the Yankee bench, they were all just like, "This is the you pull every day, man, every day." And they had just put Gallo on the injured list, so they know they're going to see a lot more hits for the next season. Man, at the beginning of the year, he said, "I feel good. I feel like this could be a 30-30 year." And I'm like, if we're talking errors and picked off, yeah, you might be on track there.
Wait, who's the announcer that does the TV games for the Yankees?
It's usually it's Michael Kay on TV.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And
he's the guy on the MLB clips when you see the video. Yeah.
Although they mix it up, they use the radio call sometimes.
Oh, do they?
The guy with the pain in the ear home run calls is John Sterling.
Is he the one? Who's the one who does that awful Giancarlo Stanton?
Yes.
Is that Sterling?
Yes. Sterling has a unique home run call for every Yankee. And they actually get excited when a new guy comes up. Because they're like, oh, if he hits one out, we'll hear his new unique home run call. And
wait, that's a thing in the Yankee fan base?
Yeah. most of the Yankee fan base are jazzed about it. And I'm like, or it's played out and we never want to hear them again. Right? New booth, please. New booth. Anyway, Sammy Sosa steps in.
Catcher, Wilson Contreras.
Since it is Yankee talk, that's my guy. Contreras he's getting traded this year sometime. And New York needs a catcher, so that's what I'm all over. Oh, look at Ernie Banks. Breaking our hearts, I think.
Oh, Pete's got that.
Oh, Pete at the wall.
Nice.
Pete was not exactly known for the glove. But he played all over the place, so he doesn't have a legacy of failure at any one spot. But they have him as a 7 in left field. So okay.
How did that guy not have an instructional video of some kind? I mean,
what?
Don't you think? Right?
How to read the dealer, or
right? It's a blackjack video.
I mean, someone must have pitched it, right? Like he did lots of stuff for us.
There's got to be some, 16 millimeter.
Oh yeah,
somewhere in somebody's basement.
Maybe you just didn't have the patience for it. Right?
He probably started doing it with some kids, and they were so bad that he just walked off. Just like, screamed at him for like 40 minutes, and it's like, I'm out of here.
You want to line up your knuckles, kid? No, line up your knuckles. All right, I'm done. It's like the old the SNL ad with Peyton Manning playing football with the kids.
Yeah,
so
right.
Good. You're awful. You suck. Go sit in the portalet.
Right, the portable.
And the kid's peeking out at the kids who are getting to play, and then he goes, "Shut the door!" Great bit. All right, Ed Reulbach with 2 outs.
I think Rob's got the title.
Here we go. That's it.
I bet the line.
That's it. Win money with Pete Rose.
It's Pete and Jimmy the Greek.
I love that they used to have a guy on the air called Jimmy the Greek.
The amount of hair gel that guy had was outstanding, man.
Oh man. And when he actually decided to get wildly racist on the live mic, people were surprised, right? Like, dude, it's Jimmy the Greek. What are you talking about?
Dude. I was like, the dude's a the dude's a med. Like, you're surprised?
Like, I would expect that from Sal the Italiano, right? Like,
you're right.
It's not Jimmy the Greek. No way.
All right, here we go. Send him.
Look at him.
We have to send him. We have to send him.
Is there any way we can make him steal third?
In the same play?
Just keep going. Go for it. Eppa, don't.
No one can second guess this one. All right, let's get him to third. We'll get him in on a pass ball.
Ed Reulbach's kind of blocking it because it's not. See, this is where it tricks you. You bring him up, says 84%. That's just in general. In general, he was caught, 1 out of 6 tries, which is great. But right now, he's something 1. Well, I don't know. If that's not an 8 on the front of it, I'm not sending him to third.
Rixey actually had a pretty good at bat.
He had a double.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, come on, win.
Hack dropped it. Yes.
Go, Eppa!
Second
Goddamn.
baseman.
Man, we basically have Otani tonight.
Right?
This is great.
After the game, Rixey's going to run the Kentucky Derby with a horse on his back. It's going to be amazing. Joe Morgan, go get him. Run, Eppa. Well, fine.
Yeah, Bias is like
Lefty
Ozzie
is
Smith in this game.
Right?
Stevenson.
Can't be stopped. I'd like to put the guy who I was always astounded with was that Ray Ordonez, Cuban shortstop that was with the Mets for like 4 years. And he did some stuff with the glove I'd never seen before. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit a lick. So we didn't. It was a short show. It wasn't on Broadway very long, but it was memorable.
Who was the Tigers guy for a couple years with the mid 2000s? Who was just outstanding? You know what I'm talking about? Late 2000s.
Yeah. Didn't he end up as a Red Sox of it? Iglesias, right?
Yeah, that's
Was it Iglesias?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
Man.
I saw
Even Andrelton, dude, for a while
that was
there.
it.
Woo.
I saw him taking grounders in pregame.
Oh, you did?
And just there's video of it where he would field the ball. He would field the ball on the run and then make the glove to hand exchange behind the back.
Yeah, just
behind his knees, like slick as anything. Never
Love
saw him try the game, but that guy.
yeah. Bias does a lot of that in the game.
Yeah. Bias does the no-look tag at second
Second baseman.
which is
Line. Sandberg.
Very
pretty
nice.
ridiculous. All right, here's Rhino. Anytime Rhino, who I think
Oh
just
man.
wins,
Oh.
yeah, all right, honest. Look at that picture of Rhino as he circles. Whenever he's a player of the day, Bellinger too.
Yeah.
Half the likes are from
Center
females.
fielder. Hack. Wilson.
And we actually have probably more females than you'd think in our overall fan base, but it ain't 50%. But for Sandberg and Bellinger, it sure is. So, anyway.
See, if we had a good marketing plan, it would just be all bench, Bellinger, Rhino.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably get a list of like 20 just supremely handsome dudes
Right.
and just ride it out.
We could make Dykstra the shirtless nail poster
The nails poster.
with the chaw just dripping down his face. Like,
Ladies love chewing tobacco, no
Right.
doubt.
we could have George Brett looking coy with a tennis ball in his mouth. That's what it looked like anyway. But actually, when we were making the McFarlane figures, we made a George Brett and we put a ridiculous amount of chewing tobacco in his cheek.
Oh,
And they
awesome.
actually said, "Could you tone that down a little bit?"
Are you serious?
And we're like, "Look at the photo, man." They're like, "Yeah, I know, but
Like this thing was like hotcakes, you morons.
come on, more." All right, here's Hack Wilson with his lethal bat and metal glove, apparently.
Third baseman. Chris Bryant.
Pete's all over that. Might be the first time in my life I've cheered for Pete Rose. Even
Right
as a
fielder,
kid, I didn't like Pete
Sammy
very much.
Sosa.
Yeah, it was a little hard. I think part of that was collecting baseball cards because you always heard so much about, especially he was chasing the hit record.
Yeah,
You heard how he's the most amazing player, and then you'd get his card in the pack and be like, you'd be like, oh, this must be worth something, and then
Yeah. no. And I think even as a kid, the idea of player manager, when he was chasing the hits record and obviously wasn't the same player anymore, I'm like, how often is he in that lineup because he deserves it?
yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, I know this is sacrilegious, but that's always been my argument with Cal Ripken and his record.
right.
Is he had a couple of seasons where, his presence in the lineup was probably not the best thing they could have thrown out there competitively.
I was, as a Yankee fan, I was rooting for that streak not to be broken. But I think in the end, when it happened, when I thought about it, I went, Gehrig played first base, right? Whereas Ripken was a 6'5" shortstop. How much more danger was he in physically in his career, turning two, with spikes flying at him at second base?
Yeah.
Versus Gehrig over there going, hey, got it. Whoop, too high. So I didn't really have a problem with it.
Rob,
Cal,
Rob
the
has
day-
a comment on the Brett figure after you're done with your thought.
Yeah, in his back pocket. Yep. weird trivia. The day Cal Ripken sat down on his own, my wedding day.
Was it?
Yep.
Wow.
I think he did it out of respect.
Undoubtedly.
So,
yes.
Cal Ripken, salute.
So give him the cheater.
Yeah, that's it. Here's a future Yankee, Wilson Contreras. Popping the bubble.
First baseman, Ernie Banks.
Oh boy. Come on, come on. Lovely.
Third baseman, Eugenio Suarez.
All right, Suarez. Not even close.
Left fielder, Pete Rose.
That's an interesting Chris Bryant photo we got going here.
He's got those dreamy eyes.
Yeah, it's like sort of it's like a bad filter, Instagram filter or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Robinson.
what's going on here, but he does look like X-ray vision going on or something. Attaboy Frank to the wall.
First baseman, Joey Votto.
All right. Face
Votto.
down. Come on, Joey.
0 for 2, the weight of an entire Canadian nation on his shoulders.
Yes.
Is it dropping? No.
Oh, heck, Wilson. Come on.
Javier Baez.
Rixey is strong.
Which means
99 pitches out of 125.
He's about to get lit. Whatever they give us that.
Terrified of our bullpen. But the names, Chapman, Charlton, Carroll, and Dibble, plus there's some starters. Will White is one of those lunatic 1880s pitchers, I think. And so we had to make him a reliever. Otherwise, he tried to pitch every damn day. So I think he has a pitching limit of 1 inning. He's not allowed to pitch more than 1 inning because unless you have a shackle on him. Like, I like to think he's like Hannibal Lecter, right? They like roll him out on the hand truck and then undo the locks and let him pitch for an inning and then seal him up and bring him back to the pen.
He and King Kelly, they just can't stop him.
Right? Yeah. They probably have at some point, one of them is going to cut the other's head off and take their power in the quickening. My favorite bit here is seldom used starter Johnny Vandermeer, who has the most unbreakable record in baseball, back-to-back no-hitters. Because to break it, you got to throw 3.
Yeah, it's a beaut.
So Charlton, Vandermeer, if we needed long relief, Will White, Clay Carroll, Rob Dibble. And I think Chapman's the closer because this is prime time Chapman. He's really, really good. But,
We got to get Norm in there along with Dibble.
right? I found the picture of Bip Roberts, who had just gotten traded to the Reds from the Padres that day when Dibble and Piniella fought in the clubhouse, like literally tackled each other. And they were just, there was B-roll rolling, right? It was open. And all of a sudden there's a fight between the manager and his closer. And then somebody goes, hey, get that camera out of here. And the camera all of a sudden swings to the right. And there's Bip Roberts with pants and no shirt on, just looking at the camera like this. Like, hang on a second, I can probably find it.
Like 10 years earlier or 10 hours earlier, he was on a beach, right?
Right.
Is that here? Just...
MLB Picks. This is where I keep some of the best photos here. Where's Bip?
Oh, Rob makes the point. Yeah, King Kelly was a Cub. Man, he's probably in the building right now.
He's not in the game?
I'm going to have to check their roster real fast.
Man. If he's not under Bip or he's not under Roberts, how am I supposed to find it? Oh, here we go. Bip Roberts, welcome to Cincinnati. The fight was over there, right? Like,
look at the executives over there too,
nobody knows what to do. When does the manager tackle a player in his locker?
I love the guy that right over his Bip's left shoulder though. He's like, "Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen the show already." Like, not even worth turning around.
I love that it was day one for Bip Roberts, like, escaping San Diego, going to first place, Cincinnati, and this is what's going on. So there you go. I guess, while I'm here, other highlights include the Canseco homer. And then I had an argument with a guy who said about Puckett was player today. And he said Puckett was never injured in his career. I said, I beg to differ. And he's like, never, ever injured. And I'm like, So, and what he meant was never spent a day on the DL, because this happened in like game 161, and they just didn't DL him. They weren't going to the playoffs, and they didn't. He had that streak. They didn't want to ruin it. And it was career ending, unfortunately. But this guy was like, never hurt, not ever. And I'm like, I don't know.
It's like, I think he was deceased for about 90 minutes there.
Seem to remember him getting lit up a little bit. Okay, and then last one before we go. This Crenshaw Little League team that featured Ozzie Smith at shortstop and Eddie Murray at first base.
Oh, geez.
Probably did some damage in LA in the 70s. So, all right, back to baseball. Hobby bias.
Yeah, Rob made the point that there may be some there we go.
I forgot to check if Tim Kelly was a Cub. He's not on the roster, so they must have caught him with a schnoz on, no doubt.
He dressed up as Ernie Lombardi for this
right?
one.
No, he's like, hey, folks, I'm Bobby Valentine. No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh boy, pitcher fueled comeback
Second
here
baseman, Ryan Sandberg.
in our 3-3 game. Oh, we probably should get the bullpen rolling, come to think of it. Eppa was getting tired.
Center fielder.
Yeah,
Mac
10 pitches
Wilson.
left in Eppa Rixey. A whole bunch of right-handers coming up.
It's Rob Dibble time.
I mean, it's only the bottom of the fifth, or top of the sixth. So do you want Dibble now, or do you want to save him for later?
I think we bring him in, don't you think?
I'm fine with that. I know you're a big Dibble fan. He's no Rob Murphy.
Rob Murphy.
All right, so it'll take us one batter to get Dibble ready. So Hack Wilson, don't hurt us too bad. Well, 2 outs. There goes the lead.
Hack.
And there goes Eppa Rixey. Throw to third, out chance 21%. I
You
think
don't run on Frank Robinson.
There you go. Get him, Frank. Not quite.
Whew.
Third baseman, Chris.
Wilson
Bryant.
didn't take second, though, so no harm. So bullpen, mound trip. Rixey appears tired, no doubt. Let's bring in Rob Dibble. I forgot to check. Hang on. Where are we at in our batting?
Man, the way he's hitting, we should probably just leave him in the lineup.
I mean, Rixey would hit fourth in the upcoming inning. But I don't know if we want to go further away. We got to bench Votto, Robinson, Rose, Suarez, or Morgan.
You could do Rose for Dunn, huh?
Good, if you want. But, I mean, Rose is our second best hitter against righties. And it's only the 6th inning. So,
Yeah, go with
I
what
think-
you want.
man, I hate to burn Dibble for just one out, but he's who we have ready. So, Rob, welcome to the show.
Pitching for Cincinnati.
Look
We
at
got a
that.
photo.
People called him smug. Can you imagine? And then he punched him. I think that was
Woo.
a snap throw by bench. Safe at first. There you go.
Catcher,
Johnny,
All right.
bench.
Johnny Bench. So unless we go 1, 2, 3, Dibble's going to bat.
Center fielder, Ed Roush.
So do we want to get another reliever ready in case we got
Sure.
a pinch hit for Dibble?
Want to get Norm up?
Sure. Norman. Ed Rouse is a great bunter, but there's one out, so probably just hit. Run, Ed, run. Oh, Baez boots it.
Wow, what?
Recovers.
Oh, jeez.
Shortstop, Barry Larkin.
Very lucky. Wrong
Jeez.
guy, Barry.
Wrong guy.
Right fielder, Sammy,
Well,
Sosa.
we didn't have to bring in
Strong, Dibbler, strong.
Dibble is strong. That's right, he says. I've been chewing coffee grounds all day.
Catcher, Wilson, Contreras.
You know he's going to rush Contreras at first.
Adam Dunn
Ernie.
makes that play, Weber.
I kind of doubt it. But
Shortstop, Javier Baez.
Wow.
Pitcher,
3-4.
Dibble.
That was a good effort.
All right, we're not going to let Dibble lead off, though.
What do you think, Dunn? Should we put Dunn in right here?
Let's see who we got against OPS against righties. They say Brandon Phillips is our best.
Lombardi!
And
Hey,
then
we can do
Lombardi,
Brandon.
and then Dunn. Looks like it's Phillips. So, all right, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. See what I did there?
Yeah, and we just got demonetized.
What happened? Hey, it makes sense here.
We just got a strike.
Oh. All right. And he hits it to Baez.
Second baseman, Joe Morgan.
Run, Joe, run. Not fast enough.
Oh, man.
Third baseman, Eugenio.
Getting late
Suarez.
early, as a Yogi used to say.
There we go. Wrong
Right
guy.
Baez.
Jeez.
Ed Reulbach.
Reulbach. So in comes the aforementioned Norm Charlton. So,
Pitching for Cincinnati, Norm.
that's
Charlton.
a bad picture.
It is a bad picture.
It's like he washed his uniform with the darks, and he plays for the Cincinnati Purples.
Not enough hair.
Yeah, I'll find a better picture for Charlton. No problem.
Left fielder,
Dealing though.
Briggs Stevenson.
So we went to the lefty Charlton against a lineup of 100% right-handers. Okay, attempt a risky play. Outchance 15%.
Sure. Absolutely.
So this usually means it's like a bad angle throw, so it's more likely.
Barry Larkin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, attempt that risky play. Good job.
Second baseman,
Look at that.
Ryan.
All day, every day.
Did Larkin go to Michigan? I think I remember that.
I think you're right.
I think he was a
Yeah.
Michigan kid. All right.
Good memory.
Ryan Sandberg.
Wow.
And then he went to Cincinnati, played in front of a bunch of Ohio State grads. Right?
Left fielder, Pete Rose.
Run, Pete, run. All right, now it's getting a
Right
little bit
fielder,
late.
Frank.
Bottom of the
Robinson.
eighth, leadoff man's on. Rose is 66% to steal. I don't know that anybody else
Whew.
has more steals other than Morgan's already in there.
Is Charlie Hustle going to let us down if we send him?
Well, I was wondering if Eric Davis had better wheels, but hold
Probably
on.
not.
I'm going to change the stats here. These are real stats, so these are what's actually entered. Yeah, Davis has 35 steals. He just hasn't played enough to run much.
Can you play left? Yeah, you can play left
He
field.
can
Huh?
play left.
Yeah, let's put him in. Let's do it.
All right.
No one's going to blame us for sending Eric Davis. Maybe Pete Rose, but
I mean, it was only for like 3.5 years, but Eric Davis was unsteroided Barry Bonds before we knew what unsteroided Barry Bonds looked like.
so was the Cincinnati Maroons? Were they actually Cincinnati in that one?
I don't know.
Cartoon.
When Bugs Bunny threw the best changeup in recorded history. Let's see. Okay, so
I've shown that one to my kids, and they enjoyed that one quite a bit.
That's a good one. Eric Davis, pinch running. Okay.
Davis is the
93%, Brent.
It is Webb. It's all coming together.
Go, Eric.
Look at that jump.
Dude, he beat Sandberg to the bag.
Is that 57? 60?
Looks like it, or 60. Either way, it's a no with no outs, right? Come on.
We need to wrap the end of the season up with meaningless games, just so we
Right?
can Go.
No outs.
Berserk.
Frank Robinson at the plate.
All right.
Eric
all
Davis at second, down and run. Maybe we should send him. Allow me to be the angel and not the sun devil
Fine.
on your shoulder.
right.
Come on, Frank. No, it's not getting through, but it moves him over. That's good, solid baseball.
First baseman, Joey Votto.
So it looks like they're in at first. I don't know if they're expecting the bunt, but I'll take it. Because Joey Votto ain't bunting.
Boom.
There we go. Look at these Votto wheels.
Catcher, Johnny
47.
Bench.
Come on, Johnny.
Johnny Bench. Let's see it. Oh, that's a good solid knock. Votto motors to third.
Yes.
Center fielder, Ed Roush.
Just thinking. No, I think Eric Davis can obviously play center, right?
So who would you put in? Are you thinking Dunn? Is it Dunn time?
Because OPS against righties.
Kluszewski?
You could do Kluszewski's first base only. But Dunn will give you a bad left field. Oh, an average 5 in left. So you could hit Dunn for Roush here.
So they didn't put Kluszewski in left at all? Okay. Oh.
He's not listed as eligible in left. Maybe he wanted to be closer to the fans to show off the gun show, right? I think Dunn for Roush makes sense here.
All right, let's do it. Let's take that walk.
Pinch
3 true outcomes, right? I wonder which one we'll get. He's kind of the godfather of 3 true outcomes, right?
Yeah.
All right, Adam. 1 out. Runners on the corners.
Now, does that usually precede at strikeout?
Sometimes, because you can see what the count is now, 1 and 2. So, and Adam Dunn is well familiar with the strikeout, but let's see it. No, it's a good solid knock. Look at that. The wall.
Whoa.
Run, Johnny, run.
Oh, what? A triple?
He always wondered what that felt like.
Stop. Very.
Oh, we're coming back, Roto. We should probably get our closer warming up, just in case we get to use him.
Not Johnny Vandermeer. Chapman has burned us so many times.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, actually, does it? Right? It's like, who do you want to hand the knife to? But the good news I have is they walked Larkin on purpose. They brought in Lee Smith. Charlton's up to bat, and Larkin is 87% to steal second base. Now, if we want to pull the old delayed double steal, we can try it. But every time I try it, the guy on third chickens out and goes, I'll stay put. But I'm all for sending Larkin.
Yeah, what are you gonna? So we got a bat for Charlton though, right?
We got a bat for Charlton.
So
Lee Smith's a right-hander, right?
Oh, it's got to be Ernie Lombardi. We're doing it.
You just know Johnny Bench is going to get hurt in the next inning, right?
I guess you could do Kluszewski.
Let's do Kluszewski.
All right.
Just because we're already out. We're not desperate.
The amount of anti-Italian sentiment on this program consistently.
Yeah, but we're
Kluszewski.
But I'm going to assume Kluszewski's Polish. Might not be, but
look at the dude's a unit, dude. Check this guy out, dude.
I couldn't even fit most of his arm in, but I had to find a picture that showed some of it. Right?
Swung like a. How big do you think the bat was that he used?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I just love the idea that back then a guy could take scissors to his own jersey and they just walk out on the field and nobody would say a word. Right? Like, it makes sense. Look at those guns. All right, big clue. Oh, first, Barry's got some work to do here. Hang on.
Woo.
And now, big clue.
Second base.
They don't want any part of big clue.
All right, Morgan.
0 for 4, Joe Morgan.
All right, we got a couple comments we can probably get to real quick. Let's see here. What do we got? Rob Deere.
It's true. Rob Deere.
That is true.
It's a lot easier with Google, but we chewed on this for a weekend. I think there's 9 guys in baseball history who've hit, I forget if it's 40 or 50 homers in a single season with 4 or less letters in their last name. And man, we shoot on this at a sports convention where I was out with McFarland for a weekend. We got most of them. It was like Mel Ott, Rob Deere was a hard one, George Bell, he was a hard one. Sosa, he was pretty easy. I think Mays, right? Like, but there were 9. There's probably more now, but anyway.
So do you think Deere? It's like Deere versus Incaviglia. Like which was Deere? Did he precede Incaviglia? I'm trying to remember.
Pretty sure Deere came up first.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And what I loved about Inky was he really couldn't hit the fastball, but he murdered curveballs. There's hardly anybody like him in the league. Like, for God's sake, don't throw him a curve. All right, Joey Morgan. Oh, baby. Run, Hack, run. Well,
that's got to be a run, right?
Maybe.
Even Dunn can make it.
Third baseman.
Look at us, Weber.
Right?
We're doing things here.
Suarez steps to the plate. Lee Smith, the turnstile. I'm not sending Kluszewski to third at 65%.
Okay.
Because I've been playing a decent amount of games, and they always get the guy at third base, no matter what. I almost turned the whole thing off because it was like 94% on a single to right, and it was somebody decently fast, right? It was like, hey, are you going to send Brett Butler to third? 94% chance safe. I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. Out, and I'm like.
Brett Butler. I love that.
I don't think he's even on a roster.
I was gonna say, like, I haven't heard that name in
it was somebody like
20 years.
Decently fast, like Nomar or somebody, right? Not a base stealer, but a guy with some wheels.
Right.
So no, we're not sending Kluszewski and his guns.
Pinch hitter,
third.
Eric Davis.
Hey, Eric Davis is back up.
All right.
No.
Center fielder, Hack, Wilson.
All right, so we got to tell it what we want here. So Davis is our center fielder. Oh, got to get a picture in first. We'll put in Mr. Chapman.
I don't think even Chapman can blow this one.
Not even with a big tank of gasoline on his back. Davis is our center fielder. Dunn is our left. All right.
Oh, worked out pretty good.
So far.
Pitching for Cincinnati, number 54, Aroldis Chapman.
Hack Wilson, 3 hits today. Yeah. Look at that picture.
It's a good one.
You can tell it's pre-neck tattoo, but anyway. Sit down.
Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Sit down,
Right
Chris
fielder,
Bryant.
Sammy.
I feel like those pitches are even coming in fast from Chapman graphically.
Right? Maybe. Oh, he walked Sosa. Here we go.
It's over.
Wilson Contreras.
Sit down, Wilson Contreras.
Oh, Rob, you have little faith.
Right? We actually had a closer close something.
What is transpiring? We need to go play the lotto.
Only took us 50 damn podcasts.
Yeah, that's
right?
right. There you go.
Chicago 4. Chicago has lost 6 in a row. Norm Charlton is the winner. He is now 1-0 on the season.
Look at Norm
and
Charlton.
Reulbach is the loser. He is now 14-13 on the season. Ryan Sandberg hit home run number 21 on the season. Time of the game, 3 hours, 28 minutes.
Norm Charlton, not to be confused with Noam Chomsky, gets the win. Aroldis Chapman, no save, but we're going to pretend like it was. It felt like a save with our 8-4 win for Cincinnati. Player of the game, Barry Larkin. Pretty exciting. I didn't remember Larkin doing that much, actually, but 1 for 3, 2 runs, a walk. I don't know.
He had a couple. He had that web. He had a couple good plays.
Oh yeah, did he make,
yeah. Defensively, maybe.
Defense matters, I guess. Yeah. Oh, Larkin had 3 great defensive plays. Okay. I gotta remember to look at that. Sometimes I'm just looking at how they hit, but and Larkin stole 2 bases too. So he filled the stat sheet. So there you go, Reds fans. We're happy to help you.
Yeah, look at
And
us.
we had so many side stories this week, and when I say we, I mean me. Was actually probably our longest podcast ever. So, so the Reds are only a half game out. We'll see what the Pirates do on Monday. As always, you can see the whole scoreboard. It goes up first on our website, and then we'll put our players of the day up on Facebook and on Twitter. So you can always keep track of Eternal Baseball that way. That's where our league leaders go to. We've got the individual game box scores go on our team-specific message boards, also hosted at eternalbaseball.com. And we are getting down to it. Most, I guess, 30 teams have 13 games left, and Cubs and Reds have 12. But we're headed towards playoffs. Looks like it's going to be a good stretch, and the playoffs are a ton of fun. So if you're new, thanks for joining us. If you're regular, thanks for coming back. And we really feel we're hitting our stride here on our 50th podcast. So
Yes.
be ready for a real whale, because we'll be playing, I guess, like 6 games left next week when we fire up the Monday schedule. So it should be a thrilling, can't miss ball game next week. But it's always a thrilling, can't miss ball game right here on the Eternal Baseball Podcast.